Hi everyone, welcome to today's video and welcome to our channel trafinhealducate. And today we will be covering, I will try to explain there are some cutting edge AI concepts or ML concepts that is actually driving privacy, security, and many other challenges that is arising with the emerging AI revolutions, right? So, one of the such techniques is model distillation, right? So, what is model distillation? Model distillation is nothing but also called as knowledge distillation. Okay, so what happens is most of the times, as we know, that the LLMs or large language models or foundation models as we call them, right? So they are all trained on internet grade data. So when they are trained on internet grade data, so they have the features and hyperparameters of those models are very huge, right? So sometimes you see 7 billion parameters, 10 billion parameters, right? So sometimes it becomes difficult, or even cost effectiveness also goes down when any small organization wants to use a power of AI technology just for one particular task, right? So in that case, the all the tech companies, right? OpenAI, Google, Azure, and Microsoft and Google, right? So they have all AWS. They have come up with new techniques that would help them increase the adoption of AI, right? So just from that standpoint, this model distillation is a technique where there is a huge model which we call it as a teacher model, or the teacher model is basically trained on, let's say, um, a huge let's say a huge data set, right? So it has a knowledge base of it, so it has certain parameter tuning and it has all the features aligned, right? But there is a specific use case that an organization wants to design a model, a smaller model that can be deployed on a small configuration server and can run and um, efficiently as well as cost effectively, right? So at that time, what they can do is they can use the model destination techniques that is available on different cloud platforms, if so to say, right? Which I will create videos in upcoming time, and so stay tuned for those videos also. So what they provide is there is a huge model, or that they call it as a teacher model, and you can do certain configurations on your cloud platforms, and you can transfer only the knowledge that is required for your specific task, right? So you have a specific task of researching only a certain category of customers, right? For suppose you are doing some e-commerce research and or in medical research, right? So but you want to focus on a certain space only. Maybe there, just imagine that there is a model that is trained on huge healthcare data, right? So it can help you on every aspect of the um, medical science, for example, in researching cancer, in researching even other organs of the body, other diseases of the body. It has huge model, but I only want to deploy one model for only for dental department, so they can only do research related to dental science, right? Dental science. So this can be a simple use case, right? So they don't want to uh, host such a huge model and then incur the cost for that. So rather, all these settings can be done on where you can transfer the knowledge to a smaller model, and that model can be deployed on the edge devices, basically our mobiles, our laptops, or any device that a user is using is called an edge device, right? So the smaller model can be deployed on the edge device, and then that model can provide the inference. So inference is nothing but you give an input and you get an output from an AI model. That process is called inferencing, right? So uh, as you can see, there is a teacher model, and that we call it as a student model, which will be deployed on the edge devices, right? So these are benefits are listed on the right side, like efficiency, cost reduction, improved performance, and specializations, right? So like we discussed, so this is a very powerful technique, and if you are also facing some requirements to adopt or implement such kind of functionality, then you can definitely take a look at it. Now let's move on to the second concept, second cutting edge concept in AI. It's called federated learning. So what is a federated learning? So federated learning is also a machine learning technique where the training process or the learning process of the model is actually distributed across multiple devices or multiple servers, right? So what we are saying is we are in process of training a model for a particular purpose, right? For example, voice recognition, or let's say for let's take the previous example itself. Like I am trying to build a model that can answer questions related to any as much as specializations of the medical science. For example, related to bones, related to heart, related to kidney, related to liver. Uh, there are many specializations we have. As per the as many organs we have that many diseases, and that many there is a science around involving uh, every organ of the body also, right? So in that case, what we can do is the final model needs the aggregated data of all how all the organs are also um, functions, right? So in that case, what we can do is all we are saying is there is a initialization process, which is the global model, and that global model will be trained, will basically be federate. So when we say federate, we are basically distributing the task of learning process, distributing the learning process of that particular of the model across many devices, right? So here, suppose I am trying to build a world class voice recognition model, right? So then I need voice samples also. So if but many times security and privacy requirements don't allow the customer voices, our voices, or our biometric informations to be passed on to the third party vendors, right? So in that case, what the organization needs to do is they need to collect the important parameters, the technical parameters related to my voice, right? What is the pitch, what is the and different parameters related to voice also they need to collect, right? So they cannot take my voice, because there is a possibility that my voice may be duplicated and might be used in some on scam also, right? So because of those things, in that case, due to data privacy requirement, how will the organization collect the data, right? So that's also a big challenge. So what happens is, on our mobiles and now on our cars, and these are called edge devices, like I said, right? So where my voice is actually I'm interacting with AI technologies, right? So what they are doing is they are deploying the model across devices on the edge devices, and the data actually resides in those devices only. The data is not getting going back to the centralized server, right? So as and when I keep on using the AI technology, or the user keeps on, then the data itself is localized. There itself the training process happens, and while the training process happens, the model tries to come up with the best parameters, or best features, or best hyper parameter tunings and all those stuff. The model itself uses many learning techniques also, right? So it keeps on collecting all the parameters, and finally an aggregation process kicks off, where all the parameters that is collected based on the training is actually sent back to the centralized server, where the model aggregates all those parameters and becomes more powerful, right? So this is called federated learning. So what benefits we get out of it? The data privacy for sure, and security and efficiency also, right? Because if we collect all the data on one server, then we need a very high capacity server where the learning process has to happen, and we need to be very careful about the learning process not getting dropped from the middle, and all those problems, right? So that all those problems are actually addressed by this by those technology techniques, right? So this, even every cloud provider also has a mechanism of providing this federated learning, which I will be creating a video around it on the future. So yeah, thank you for watching today's video, and please like the video and subscribe to our channel if you are looking forward for more such content. Thank you so much.